Good morning, my dear students. Hope you are safe at home. Today we will start our session, Unit 1, Lesson 3, Atomic Structure. We studied before in the last session that the matter is anything that has mass and volume, and the matter consists of molecules, which is the smallest building unit of the matter, which can exist freely and have the properties of matter. Okay, what about the molecules? Molecules are consist of atoms, which mean that the matter consists of molecules and the molecules consist of atoms. What is the meaning of atom? Atom is the smallest building unit of the matter which can share in the chemical reaction. And in our session we will study the structure of the atom. Now we will study how to write the sample of the element. The sample of the element is represented by three ways. Number one, by one letter, and should be written in capital letter, like carbon, C, hydrogen, H, oxygen, O, nitrogen, N. Or by two letters, and we should write the first letter in capital and the second one in small, like bromine, Br, lithium, Li, argon, Ar. Some elements are derived from their Latin name, not their English name, like sodium. The sample of sodium is Na, so it's derived from their Latin name, which is natrium. Iron. The sample of iron is Fe, which is derived from their Latin name, which is ferrum. Potassium. The sample of potassium is K, which is derived from their Latin name, which is kalium. And there is many elements: lithium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, and their samples. Now we will talk about the structure of the atom. Atom consists of two main parts, which is nucleus and electrons. First, we will talk about the nucleus. This is my nucleus. It presents inside the atom, and it have positive protons and neutral neutrons. The second part is electrons. The electrons, they are revolve around the nucleus at the very high speed, and we will study in our lesson that they revolve around the nucleus in orbits, which is known later as energy level. Okay, and they are negatively charged and they have the same numbers of positive protons, so our negative electrons equal the numbers of positive protons. To express any atom, we have to know the two main parts, which is atomic number and atomic weight, which is called mass number. First, we will talk about the atomic number. What is the meaning of atomic number? Atomic number is the number of positive protons which is present inside the nucleus, or the number of negative electrons which revolve around the nucleus. But my mass number equal the sum of protons and neutrons, okay? Like my sample sodium, Na, they have the number above here, and there is another number which is written below. This number is called atomic number, and this number is called mass number. I want to know again, what is the meaning of atomic number? Is the number of positive protons or, right, negative electrons. What about this number? This number is mass number, which equal the protons and the neutrons. Excellent. Okay, let's see. What is the sample of aluminium? Can you help me? Yes, aluminium is Al. Okay, I have two numbers. What is these numbers? Atomic number. And what is this? This is called mass number. Okay. If I want to calculate the number of neutrons, we can make mass number minus atomic number to get the number of neutrons. Okay? I told you that the electrons revolve around the nucleus at the very high speed, and they rotate around the nucleus in an orbit, which is called energy level. So the energy level is the path in which the electrons rotate around the nucleus. And I have 7 energy levels, which is started by K and ended by Q, which is K is the first energy level, L the second, M the third, N the fourth, and O 5th, and P 6th, and Q 7th. Okay, so the first energy level is K, and the last energy level is Q. The first energy level had the least energy, and the Q had the highest energy. Okay, this is my energy level in which the electrons rotate around the nucleus. They rotate inside this energy level, and each energy level is saturated by amount of energy, or amount of electrons, which we can calculate it at the end of our session. So when the electrons in the energy level gain amount of energy, they will transfer from the lower energy level to the higher energy level. And when they lose the amount of energy, they return back to the lower energy level. This amount of energy called quantum. So what is the meaning of quantum? Quantum is the amount of energy lost or gained by an electron to transfer from one energy level to another. Okay? And when the electrons gain an amount of energy and transfer from lower energy level to the higher, it's called excited atom. It's called excited atom. Now we will talk about the electronic configuration or distribution. Each energy level can carry certain amount of electrons, which is calculated by the rules 2n power 2, which means that the first energy level can saturated by 2 electrons, and the second energy level, which is L, is saturated by 8 electrons, and the third energy level M is saturated by 18 electrons, and the fourth energy level N can saturated by 32 electrons. This rule is not applied for energy level more than 4 because the atom will be not stable. Let's see some examples for the electronic configuration. Did you remember what is the sample of sodium first? Yes, Na. Why we didn't write sodium S? Because it derived from their Latin name, which is natrium, right? So sodium Na, they have 2 numbers. What is these numbers called? Atomic number, right? And what are these numbers called? Mass number. What is the number, which one can we use to make an electronic configuration or distribution of electrons? Atomic number is the numbers of electrons, which is distribute in the energy level. So we will distribute the 11 in the energy level. The first energy level is saturated by 2 electrons. What about the second? L is saturated by 8. So I have 2 plus 8, which is 10. So I have only 1. We will put it in the energy level, the third energy level, which is called M. Put 1 here. Okay. Let's take another example, which is chlorine. Chlorine have 2 numbers, 17, 35. Which number is the numbers of electrons? Right, 17 is the atomic number, which is the numbers of electrons. So we will distribute the 17 in the energy level. The first energy level is saturated by 2, and the second, 8. So I have 2 plus 8 equal 10. I have 7 electrons. We will put the least 7 electrons in the third energy level M, and so on. If I have the third, I will check the activity of the element by the numbers of electrons in the outermost energy level. If the third energy level or the outermost energy level contains less than 8 electrons, it will be active element. If the outermost energy level is completely filled with electrons, like argon, M is completely filled with electrons, which is 8 electrons, so it will be inactive, which is called inert gases or noble gases. So the atom is active and not stable if the numbers of electrons in the outermost energy level less than 8 electrons, and the atom will be inert or noble gases or inactive elements if the outermost energy level is completely filled with electrons. Thank you for listening.